What's happening, everybody? I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones, and this is the final possession. The Dallas Cowboys are struggling to get a playoff berth, which is odd considering they were picked by many to at least make it to the Super Bowl. And while the struggles can be contributed to or deciding to go with Ezekiel Elliott's suspension, that may be the story, but with all things, the devil's in the details. The Cowboys were 2-1, were well aware that they could be losing Zeke, and seemed to be rolling until owner Jerry Jones decided to declare that no player of mine, his, was going to be taking part in the NFL protests. And for those who've been living on a rock or perhaps Jupiter, yes, NFL players have been protesting during the Star-Spangled Banner. It was an odd declaration to come from an owner who has an African-American quarterback and who supported African-Americans throughout his tenure as the owner. But then you start looking at Jerry Jones's pedigree, and you start going through a lot of things that he's been involved in, which are contributing to Donald Trump's campaign, one of the more polarizing presidential figures, playing on a segregated Arkansas national championship football team in college football. And then you start realizing that maybe these things aren't that strange for Jerry Jones, who in the end, the Dallas Cowboys are his, and the players are nothing more than his property. Before you jump the gun and say it's race, slavery, it's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he is emotionally and financially tied to these players' success. So when he decides to double down and tell these players to stay in their lane and they're not going to be part of a protest, he lost sight of the fact that there was emotion tied into sports. There was emotion tied into these players who were going back to these communities. So it should be no shock to anyone that the Cowboys have been 3-5 since Jones made that declaration. So the story shouldn't begin with Dak Prescott's struggles, and it shouldn't end with Ezekiel Elliott's suspension. It should center around Jerry Jones as being a distraction. Whether he felt that they should protest or whether he felt that they shouldn't protest, he should have known that that comment would affect his team, that comment and that stance would affect his players. And while that stance may not directly impact Jerry Jones outside of his pocket, he should have known in his heart it wasn't the best thing to do. So the Cowboys will continue to struggle, and Jerry Jones will continue to act as if that distraction wasn't applied by him. But Mr. Jones, let me tell you something that I learned a long time ago. You can't start a storm and expect not to get wet. That's it for this edition of The Final Possession. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. See you next time.